Welcome back to Cinema Flicks Music Picks. I'm Davey, your host with the most, the beast with the least. Excuse the rather oversaturated lights, but look at that, look how bright it is. So we want to celebrate the last few days of daylight that we have in Scotland, so I'm certainly not wasting this. Today, we're going to have a look at, and this is dedicated to Simon, Time Lord, because he talks about martial arts movies all the time. Armour of God, Jackie Chan, 1986. So, watched this the other day and wowee, I've never seen this one. So I've seen your main Jackie Chan classics, but I've never seen this. Wow. So, plot. It's Jackie Chan movie. Plot. He is former member of this kind of cheesy 70s disco band turned treasure hunter, Indiana Jones style. And the other member of this boy band kind of thing, who stayed in the industry while Jackie went off to become Indiana Jones. He and Jackie had a love triangle with this girl, Lorelei, and the other guy, Alan Tam, played by Alan Tam, quite a big star in Hong Kong music. He won the girl, but years later, there is a treasure hunt that is going on to discover the Armour of God, these 5 relics that are pieces of blah 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 blah, Last Crusade kind of stuff. Okay, right. So he who has the 5 controls the blah 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 blah. Okay, you know the shtick. Okay, Jackie wants to get the 5 just for money. Alan Tam wants to get the 5 because it will get his girl back. And this evil cult of Satan worshippers want to get the 5 because it seems like the kind of thing they would do because they're Satan worshippers. So I guess if they have the armour of God, they can do something with it. Anyway, none of that matters. That is your blank bit of paper, really, on top of which you can put Jackie Chan. And boy, did we get some Jackie Chan here. So, here we go. So, Armour of God. Now, in America, this was known as Operation Condor 2, because the sequel to this is called Operation Condor, Armour of God 2. But in America, where Jackie Chan didn't really take off until the mid-90s, Rumble in the Bronx, etc., they didn't release this until the late 90s. So, the second one came out first, and then this was re-released as the sequel. People must have wondered why Jackie suddenly looked so young. They must have thought CG had come a terrible long way. But let's have a little look. So here's Jackie, Mr. Dynamite himself, and here he is. And you ready? Yeah, it's the boy band days with the cult at the bottom there. Wow. And Jackie's a great singer. If you've ever heard Jackie sing, he's got an actual singing career in Asia. Let's have a look here at the booklet. This is one of the best booklets ever, and I really want to give props to 88 Films who put this out. When they do a deluxe Jackie Chan edition, oh boy, here's your booklet. Booklet, this is a book. Look how stacked this is. And so, how many pages? 86. 88 pages. So, right, here's something I want to point out. Look at Jackie there. Look at his hair. And then look at his hair there. This is the film in which Jackie came closest to killing himself. There's a terrific action scene to open this, where Jackie is stealing the sword of the Armour of God, the 5 pieces, one of them's a sword. and Jackie takes it from this tribe, seemingly in Africa. It's actually a very kind of racist scene in retrospect, but at the time, you know, a bit like Temple of Doom, you can kind of get away with stereotypes at that point. You need to roll with it, just like Jackie rolls with the punches, because so Jackie steals the sword of the armour of God, and a chase ensues when the tribe realise that he's taken it, and a chase doesn't sum it up. Anybody who's seen maybe the start of Police Story knows that a Jackie Chan chase is like no ordinary chase. So he is rolling along with barrels, he is jumping, you know, to get 20 feet in the air, he jumps 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, he's doing all the Jackie Chan 80s masterpiece stunts that you can think of. And then one simple one, relatively speaking, I couldn't do it in a month of Sundays. Well, maybe. But for Jackie, a relatively easy stunt, which he'd already done, and it came off well, but he said, we could do it a little bit better, take two. All he's doing is jumping from one wall onto a tree, catching a branch and sliding down. That's all he's doing. The branch gave way, and Jackie fell and hit his head. It looks like nothing in the film. It's not one of the most elaborate sequences. It's part of the chase, but it's not one of the most elaborate sequences. When Jackie went down, he was wondering why everybody was at his head, because he was saying, but it's my feet. What's going on? Why are you all up here? Jackie's ear was gushing blood. Turns out part of Jackie's skull, hence the rather over-the-top thumbnail I was alluding to in the thumbnail, part of Jackie's skull fractured and went into his brain. Yeah. To this day, that doesn't heal. You know, it's not like two bones that fuse together. Your skull doesn't just, you know. So Jackie wears a prosthesis to this day, and has very bad hearing in one ear, because it completely shattered his eardrum as well. So Jackie is the closest he ever came to dying, and that's why he intended to do the film looking like this, and then had to complete it months later looking like this, because that is how long it took him to recover. The difference between that haircut and that haircut is how long Jackie had to take off because of that one stunt gone wrong. It's very reminiscent of, gosh, what film was it with Buster Keaton? Cops? One of the 7 Chances. The one where Buster Keaton has to jump from one building to the next, and it was intended that he would make the, you know, grab onto the building, but he missed it and went boom, 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 boom. And it looks intentional in the film, but it's not. And that would cause Buster all the damage later on. So yeah, look at the kind of information you get in here as well, right? I want to highlight 88 and what they do in this booklet in particular, because this was very nostalgic to me. Again, like I mentioned, in America, I've discovered Jackie didn't. Right, he was known if you were a world cinema fan, especially an action fan, kung fu fan, you would know Jackie Chan by 96. But for even remotely mainstream audiences, he was nothing, absolutely nothing. Whereas in the UK, I remember Jackie Chan being massive in the early 90s. Massive. Everybody knew who Jackie Chan was. You said Jackie Chan, people would go, whoa, 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 whoa. Everybody knew who Jackie was. I remember renting Twin Dragons when it came out. There was one company who put out loads of the VHSs. Terrible dubs, but they put out loads of the VHSs. And what this book does, rather wonderfully, is it celebrates that era with Jackie mania. And it goes into all the different types of memorabilia and Here's some patches. It goes into Jackie's fandom. There's the meaning of his trademark even. It's a stunning book. It really is the one. It's almost like a mini biography of Jackie Chan. The logo of the film company. There's Jackie and there's Alan Tam there, who you can tell if you watch it. Alan Tam is not like Sammo Hung. He's not a fellow martial artist. He's obviously a celebrity of some sort, because he's a bit like Chris Tucker in the Rush Hours for an American audience. He's not doing all the stunts like Jackie is. So you can tell that in a Jackie Chan movie means he's stunt casting. Well, pardon the pun, stunt casting. This would be like casting Harry Styles. Here's a scene. So Jackie has to take on these are the final villains of the film, the 4 boobs of the apocalypse, or the 8 boobs of the apocalypse. The action is hilarious, absolutely hilarious, but never ever funny in a way that detracts from the whoa. So we start off with that amazing chase sequence. Jackie going down a hill, holding on to this piece of wood and just going terrifying. That again looks like Buster Keaton in 3 Ages, with the rocks rolling down the hill. Jackie running that way where you run down a hill and you realise you have to keep momentum or you're just going to fall. Jackie does fall, gets back up, falls again, keeps getting back up. It's the most amazing thing. It's the most amazing, just running down a hill. So he does that. In the middle of the film, there's an amazing car sequence in France, which makes, I think it was found in Croatia, but it's France. Makes Ronin look nothing. French Connection look nothing. Car just going just absolutely unbelievable. And it's even got something that would pop up in a later Batman movie by Christopher Nolan, believe it or not. And look at Jackie, how much cooler does he look with that short hair? Look how badass he is there. Look at that. Wish he'd kept that in the 80s instead of the mullet. Look at that. Yeah. We get a lot of cool original artwork from the periods. So your last big set piece, they go and rescue Lorelei from the cult, etc, etc. There's a lot of kind of comedy in the middle while Jackie was still recovering. He couldn't do quite as many stunts, so there's a lot more farce and there's a lot more over the top comedy in a very screwball kind of way, where people think they're having a threesome. People think Jackie and Alan are partners at one point. People think just a comedy of errors ensues for the middle. And that's wonderful because Jackie is well versed in Chaplin, Keaton and Lloyd. He knows exactly that kind of school as well, and he can do that. He's got the charm for that as well. And Alan Tam doesn't let the side down. This goes into even stuff like the video games. Fantastic. And I was so excited because I was reading about these Japanese ones and I was going, I hope they have the one I remember. I hope they have it. And I was going, oh no. There's The Protector. Famously, that's the American movie directed by James Glickenhaus that was supposed to break him in the 80s in America, and it was a massive flop. He swears in it. There's nudity. Jackie hated the experience. They wouldn't let him do his own stunts half the time. They wouldn't let him come up with his stunts. And Jackie said, I'll show you what a police movie is. Went home and made Police Story. Yeah, The Protector, Police Story. I think Jackie won that one. Speaking of which, there's the video game of Police Story. It goes into such depth, and I'm still going, oh, where's the one I remember? Where's the one I remember? There's the Armour of God video game. It's a whole section about video games. And then we come to it. Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu. This is the one I remember with that cover. This is the one where you play as Jackie with this ridiculously big head and you're fighting tigers, and he looks like that for some reason on the main screen. His sister's been kidnapped and you need to rescue Jackie's sister. But then there's later ones, like these kind of Mortal Kombat looking ones. I mean, it looks like they're out of Fist of Fury with Bruce Lee. And you know, I don't remember any of these. But there's, you know, Jackie in the arcades. Yeah, I mean, look, here's cool Jackie. Look at that. It's just a tremendously fun movie. Mr. Dynamite, like I said, which takes you up and down the spectrum of Jackie Chan's talents. So when he is recuperating, anybody else would have to say, right, I'm off set for 3 months, not Jackie Chan. There's a reason why he doesn't get insurance on movies. First of all, no one would insure him. But second of all, it stops him from going back on set if he has to collect insurance. He literally, his leg went backwards on Rumble in the Bronx in the morning when he was filming the hovercraft scene. He was back on set in the afternoon in a cast. Unreal. You get the music cue sheet for the theme tune and a lot of the music. You get Alan Tam promotional material for the soundtrack and whatnot. And, you know, gorgeous one sheet there. That's fantastic. And it ends with a leap of faith that has to be seen to be believed. There's your kind of ostensibly your main villain, but not your main villain in the classical Jackie Chan sense, where he's your big fight. It's actually the 4 boobs of the 8 boobs of the apocalypse. They're the main, but it's just knockabout fun. And he has a wonderful advert where Jackie's thanking the audience for making it his biggest success to date. So yeah, it's difficult to review these kind of movies, I think, because you can only really say, wow, those stunts. But that booklet kind of helps you put it into context of how massive a star Jackie Chan was, ever shall be. An icon doesn't begin to cover it. As I said, growing up, coming of age in the 90s, I don't remember a world without Jackie Chan. I remember his video. The World section in the video shop just down by us was pure Jackie Chan almost. It was like Jackie Chan was maybe 9/10 of it. And you'd rent Police Story, or you'd rent I'm trying to think what they had, Wheels on Meals, and you know, you wouldn't think twice. You know, it would just be as cool as seeing Indiana Jones, or as seeing, I mean, I'd watch him before I'd watch any of those nonsense Steven Seagals and Jean-Claude Van Damme's and blah blah blah. Jackie's real, and he's a terrific actor too. That's why I think I love Jackie as much as I do. He's a wonderful actor, on top of being a ridiculously great stunt performer, choreographer, director. He's a great actor. He's a great comedian. So that whole sequence in the middle of the film where he can't do quite as much because he's recovering from his brain being intruded by a piece of his skull. Yeah. He still comes up with these amazing set pieces for comedy. So okay, I can't do that. What else can I do? Brilliant. It just shows you how diverse the man was, and again, ever shall be. Bless you, Jackie Chan. There's a reason why you are amongst the most famous men in the world, and deservedly so. I wish Hollywood had got you sooner. I wish Hollywood got you, actually, because they still always seem to pair you with silly comedians and turn you into a joke. Yeah. Let Jackie be Jackie. That's all you need to do. Sign him up. Stand back and watch. But Hollywood be Hollywoods, and they couldn't let their lawyers, in case people sue and whatnot. So Jackie movies in America have always been neutered, always had to be neutered by lawsuits and whatnot. So if you want Jackie Chan, go back to Hong Kong, go back to China. and you will find the real Jackie Chan. So start in the 70s, work your way through the 80s and 90s, and go to the 2000s as well. There's a lot of great stuff that Jackie made for the Chinese market, where he gets to properly act, really show that he's an actor. With no action, he's an actor in it. And it's always been something that's bugged Jack. He's always said, I'm an actor who can fight, not a fighter who can act. So, yeah. Bit of a rambling one, but I really can't recommend this highly enough for anyone who likes a good adventure comedy. Just a good adventure comedy. There's only 3-4 major set pieces in the movie, but they are so worth it that you will need time to recover after each one, that you'll be thankful for the more low-key comedy that follows them. So you can just kind of take a breather and look forward to the next one. And again, watch Jackie's hair go like that. The fringe goes up and down depending on what scene he's in, and you can tell how far along his recovery he is. So by the end, he's got the full kind of 80s Jackie Chan mullet that we know and love, because that was him fully recovered from the start, where he has the very short hair that I showed you. So. Well, Time Lord, I hope you enjoyed this, Simon. This was for you, so that was for me too, because I really loved watching it. But I think I might review some more Jackie movies, because there are some of his in this filmography that really deserve a light shone upon them, which aren't martial arts films, and deserve a little bit more appreciation. So who knows? Don't hold me to it, but I may be sitting here again soon. Well, I'm always sitting here, but you know, figuratively. Until then, though, even though it is a lovely day, stay very safe out there, Love and mercy, my dears. Love and mercy.